The ledger didn't contain names. It contained the exact weights of the gold bars stolen from the vault in Zurich. In 1952, a low-level clerk named Victor discovered a discrepancy that reached the highest levels of the government. The numbers were shifting like desert sand. He realized the missing gold hadn't been lost. It had been laundered into the rebuilding of post-war Europe. Victor wasn't just holding a book. He was holding the detonator for a financial bomb. As he left the bank, a black sedan pulled alongside him, its engine a low growl. The driver was a man with a jagged scar across his knuckles, a professional cleaner for the syndicate. Victor didn't panic. He dove into the crowded subway, the ledger tucked tight against his ribs. He knew the city's underground tunnels better than anyone else alive. He reached a maintenance hatch and scrambled down into the steam-filled darkness. Behind him, the rhythmic thud of heavy boots echoed off the damp brick walls. The pursuit wasn't a chase, it was a hunt. Victor had to reach the embassy before the ledger became a shroud. He used a flare to blind his pursuer in the narrow crawl space. The white phosphorus hissed, illuminating a face of cold, calculated fury. Victor kicked a rusted grate open and emerged in the middle of the gala, his suit torn and his face covered in soot and ancient oil. The socialites gasped, but Victor didn't stop. He saw the ambassador across the room, surrounded by the very men who wanted him dead. He had to cross 60 feet of marble floor without a single person noticing the book. He grabbed a waiter's tray as a makeshift shield. A hand gripped his arm. The cleaner had caught up, blending into the crowd in a stolen tuxedo. "Give me the book, Victor, and you walk out of here with your life." The man's voice was a sharp blade. Victor felt the cold press of a silenced pistol against his side. "The numbers are already public," Victor lied, his heart hammering a frantic rhythm. He tripped a fire alarm, and the room erupted in chaos. In the confusion, he slid the ledger into the ambassador's open briefcase. The hand on his arm tightened, then suddenly let go. The cleaner vanished as the security team swarmed the floor. Victor was tackled, but he was smiling. The ledger was no longer his burden. It was a weapon in the hands of the law. He had turned a silent theft into a loud, international scandal that changed the world. He spent 3 years in protective custody, watching the headlines as the syndicate crumbled. The Zurich discrepancy became the biggest financial trial of the century. Victor had survived the weave of the powerful by becoming the one thread they couldn't cut or hide. In 1955, he was given a new name and a small house by the sea. He never touched a ledger again, but he kept his old fountain pen as a trophy. He had learned that the truth isn't just a concept. It's a physical force that can level mountains if handled right. He often sat on his porch, watching the waves and thinking about the man with the scarred knuckles. He knew the world was still full of shadows, but he had shown a light into the darkest vault of all. The gold was gone, but the integrity of the system remained. His story was inspired by the real whistleblowers of the mid-century, men who risked everything for a set of numbers. The weaver of finance had been defeated by a clerk who knew how to count to 10. Victor lived to be 90, a quiet man with a secret that helped build the modern world. Every time he saw a gold coin, he would wink at his reflection. He knew that some treasures aren't meant to be buried, and some secrets are too heavy to stay underground.